Hello. Let me get this started. There we go. I know, I love it so much. Sorry, I have to click off. Okay, now I'm good. Yeah, the stinger's so cool. You want to see it again? Here we go. Ooh. What a stinger! I'm in love with it. Go back to the game. Oh, no. No, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to make a new game. Shit, I messed up now. 1 second. Hi, Fox. Hi, Maya. Hi, Miski. Hi, Ether. Yeah, you credited the artist who did the stinger. They had it on their Etsy. It's like Sayonani? Sayoni? It's in there. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Alright, welcome everyone to part 4. I'm calling it part 4 of Coffee Talk. I think this is the last session. Yeah, they also made the starting screens / BRB and stream ended screens. So they have their own overlays too for gaming and just chatting, but I want to keep my own commissioned ones. And I'm glad it works out nicely together. Should I show it again? I'll show it again. To be right back. And we're back. Okay. Alright, enough messing around. I love it so much, it's so fun. I was thinking of commissioning a stinger, and I was like, huh, do I want to spend a lot of money on a custom stinger when I've already commissioned some stuff? Hi Lena, it's good to see you. Or do I just want to find a possible pre-made stinger online? And that's what I found. So I'm really happy with it. I think it helps like fit in with like that cafe vibe that I want. Alright, let's continue. Oh, we're back and Freya is dying. We are on... Oh, it's actually 3 more days, not 4 more days. I was wrong when I tweeted it on Twitter. I was like, 4 days? No, 3 days left. Alright, Freya's dying. Also let me know if the audio is alright. But Freya's been, fired from her job, and she's been working really hard on her book draft. Sounds good? Nice. I had to change some, audio settings when I was messing around with my overlays, so I was a little worried. I think everything's fine now, hopefully. Okay, ... Good evening, Freya. ... Oh. Hi. Oh, when was the last time you slept? I still sleep like a normal person, you know. I slept for 6 hours. Last night? No, I've slept for 6 hours this week. Oh my gosh, Freya! Hello? Freya, I'm tucking you into bed right now. That's not healthy! That's not... Get some rest! It's really... I can rest when it's done. That's stupid. Oh, shut up. So, what's your plan now? Now, as in right at this moment, I'm planning to go to the bathroom and wash my face. I need to make sure I don't look like a dead woman walking. Good luck with that. And after that, I'll continue writing. Freya. Oh well. What do you mean, oh well? What do you mean, oh well? You know where the bathroom is. Okay, I need something to drink now. Freya, you're unemployed. Don't waste your money on coffee shop drinks. Freya is like me with comms. Oh no. That is so weird. Coming from the coffee shop owner. I know. You've been a regular for years. If you only need the vibes of the place, just right here. No, I can't do that. You don't have any customers tonight. What would I do if this place went bankrupt? It won't happen. How can you be so sure? Just take this tap water and go do your work, okay? But... See? There's a customer coming right now. So don't you worry about me. Oh, it's Gala! Oh! ... Hi, Gala! ... What's wrong? I know you're a man of few words, but this is maybe pushing it a bit. ... Freya. Leah. I'm truly very sorry for what happened yesterday. Gala. Hey, it's alright. For people who don't remember, or wasn't here, there was a werewolf in our coffee shop last night. And I couldn't look at my phone, but I was able to make the drink right the first time. No one got hurt, right? And the coffee shop's fine. Don't think about it too much, Gala. Like Freya said, no casualties and no problems with the coffee shop. ... I still need to redeem myself for the mess I made, and the scare I gave you. I'm sure there's something I can do. Why don't you buy something for the lady here? I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Hey, what do you mean? Do you want anything to drink, Freya? No! It's alright, Gala. I insist. You don't have to. Please accept it. At least it'll help me stop feeling so guilty. At least a little. Alright. Alright. I wouldn't mind a coffee. Not an espresso, mind you. Something with a little less kick. You know how to make sugar and spice? I feel like I made that on accident once. The one of cinnamon? Yes. A cup of sugar and spice, please. I'm pretty sure I made that on accident once. Do I have the recipe? I'm not seeing it. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna wing it. Saving the game. So we want coffee, sugar, and spice. So... cinnamon and honey? That cinnamon honey coffee. Okay. How about I switch it around? Unless the spice is supposed to be ginger. I'll try that after. Oh crap, I forgot. Wait, honey. Ginger could be spicy. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was honey first, then cinnamon. Sugar and spices for the lady with the vices. Hey! Oh well, I won't complain. Thank you, Gala. Don't mention it. Leah, are you sure there's nothing I can do for you? You don't have to do anything, Gala. It's fine. but to be honest, I'm curious. What happened yesterday? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you usually stay indoors during the full moon, don't you? I usually do. But there was an emergency at the hospital yesterday. What kind of emergency? The hospital was really packed yesterday. After that announcement... Announcement? The one saying that a replacement government-issued Fury sedative will be available soon. Releasing that news on the day of the full moon was just... stupid. So many restless werewolves came, asking about the sedative, which isn't ready yet. But the announcement said it wasn't ready. Just that it was coming soon. You think people read the whole article? They only saw the headline or glanced at it at the news stall. Then they went straight to the hospital. I don't blame them though. Finding out that the only publicly available sedative is dangerous, it's difficult for some people. I ended up having to explain it to dozens of werewolves. I even had to put some rogue werewolves in the isolation rooms. It was that bad, huh? Yeah, to the point that we ran out of rooms to put them in. That's why at the end of my shift, I left immediately. Normally, I'd have asked a friend to lock me in one of the isolation rooms, of course. But I couldn't, so I rushed right back to my apartment. But it was too late. Thankfully, I was in this area, and I managed to force myself to come to your place. Gala, excuse me for asking this. Yes. But you didn't hurt anyone on the way here, right? As far as I remember, no. And I didn't see any blood on my clothes. That's good to hear. This might sound overly confident, considering what happened yesterday, but I have enough control to make sure I don't hurt anyone. As long as I have something to direct my fury towards. Usually, I end up destroying stuff around me. Or, worst case, hurting myself. Despite all that, I'm still glad that no one got hurt. Always looking for that positive side, aren't you? Just doing my job. Thanks, both of you. I really mean it. But please, if there's anything I can do to if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask me right away. Will do. In the meantime, can I order a drink? Sure, what are you having? The same as yesterday. I forgot it already. What's this one say? See, spicy sweet natural bliss in a cup. Galahad, tea, milk, ginger. Tea, milk, ginger. There it is. Here's your special brew. Thank you. The drink that saved me. Once again, thank you for helping me find this drink. By the way, Gala, now that you can be 100% sure that your drink is your natural sedative, why don't you put some in a bottle and carry it with you everywhere? That's the plan. It has to be warm though. I can use a vacuum flask, I suppose. I've never heard a thermos get called that. Well, I guess you can't call it a thermos because it's a brand name. Vacuum flask. I'll give it a try next full moon. ... Don't worry, Freya. I'm going to stay at my place for the next full moon. I'm not taking any risks. Before I can make sure how effective that remedy is. Phew. Uh-oh. What the? Rachel? What's going on? Ha! What else? Your father? Of course. What the hell was he thinking? Coming backstage at Coachella just to get into an argument with my manager. Huh? Before we continue, Leah, a cafe latte, please? That should be an easy one, but I'll look at it. Cafe latte. Do I not have cafe latte in here? And one must be really easy. Let me save. I have zero confidence in myself. Did I save? Yes. Alright, cafe latte is coffee. Milk? There we go. Oh, I can make latte art. Alright, everyone, what should I make? I'll give a minute for the delay. A carbuncle? A carbuncle. Okay. A cute little wolf dog. That would be cute. I'll try a carbuncle first, and then we'll see how it goes. So make the long ears. Long ears. I don't remember a carbuncle has a little gem. 2 eyes. That's supposed to be the legs. There we go. How is the carbuncle, everyone? A masterpiece. Thank you. This might be my. It looks like a goblin. A masterpiece. Thank you. Oh my gosh. All right, it's not a goblin. It's a carbuncle. Thank you. All right, I'll serve it. Or should I make the wolf? Maybe we can make the wolf too. We don't make lattes very often. I'll try a wolf now. 2 ears. I'm gonna try to do some spinny stuff. Maybe that will help. Oh, it's not helping very much. Oh my gosh. I need it to not like this. Yeah. There's my wolf. It's a little... I could add a little more. Oh no. This is... This is... Oh. It's a sad wolf. Just add a little white here. Oh no, it's looking really sad. It's looking really sad. You know? It's beautiful. Thank you. How's this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This might be my magnum opus. Your cafe latte is ready. Don't mind me, I spent like maybe a few minutes making the art. I wanted to make it perfect. Thanks. How did he manage to get backstage? He told security he was my father. And he messaged me about coming beforehand. That sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, he let you know. Hi, Carlos. Good to see you here. said he was just going to wish me luck. So I told him to let him in, of course. He's still my father. Things were nice at first. Then my manager came. And... I don't know why he hates him so much. It's showbiz. I'm mature enough to know what's good or bad for me. ... I mean, you're 18. There's still a lot you need to know about the world and learn. I can't say you're an adult yet. I didn't know anything when I was 18. I'll let you know that now. What happened after that? Mr. Lester told the security guards to kick him out. He's still allowed in the festival area. I saw him in the crowds. Did the concert go well at least? Oh, yeah. Other than the arguments backstage, everything was great. I was the first one to play on the main stage. Usually, no one pays much attention to whoever's on first. But there were thousands of people in the audience during my session. Nice. So, you don't need to be at the event anymore after this? Not really. We all felt like we knew everything. I did my stage time. And then there was this press conference after my show. After show press conference? Yeah, the pre-show was done yesterday. Today was a small one. There were almost a dozen journalists who wanted to interview me. So we decided to just do a mini conference. Good for you. You're totally back in the game, huh? I guess I am. Thanks to Mr. Lester. I would say it's because of you. But your manager's probably worked some of his influence too. Hahaha. So, why are you here? Because of Dad, of course. I told him to come here this evening. We really need to set things straight. He needs to stop messing with my manager so much. And because this evening is the only time we can meet, I can't go to the party Mr. Lester is hosting. What party? He's hosting a party for the VIPs and artists he manages at a club in Belltown. Is it okay for you to go to the party without a guardian? I'm 18, remember? I'm an adult. Yeah, but you can only enter some clubs if you're 21. Not this time. Because Mr. Lester's my manager and it's his party. Not sure about that. It's true. No, I know you can do that by using his name. But I don't think he should do that with you. Why? I'm an adult. No, you're not, Rachel. Have you ever been to one of Lester's parties? Well, you have? Not personally. I've heard stories. What stories? He knows how to party. That's good then. That's not necessarily a good thing. Knowing how to party might mean something else entirely. I don't know what you're talking about. You'll find out. Especially if you keep Lester on as your manager. Personally, I don't mind wild parties. But inviting an underage person to his party? That might be a bit too far. Welcome, huh? We get to see him as a cat! Bro. Henry, question mark. Oh my gosh, I wanted to see this! But not like this. Oh. Oh, sorry. I don't even know how to make that sound. What the hell? Oh no! Dad! What? Rachel, is that Mr. Hendry? Yes. Dad? What happened? Leah, can you get a cup of milk for him? Please! Just milk? Just milk! me! Oh! I forgot he's really low. Okay. Straight up milk, baby! Straight from the mothers you know. Just milk. Here! Bro, you're getting it all over the counter! Thank you! Dad, please, hold on! Is milk really gonna help someone who just got beat up? I don't know. Can somebody help me call an ambulance, please? They're on the way. I've contacted the hospital. Thank you! I've also contacted our Nekomimi expert personally. She's off shift right now, but she's also on the way. Thank you so much. I don't know what might have happened without your help. Don't mention. Here they come. I'll go with you. Okay. Cool boy! That was really something, huh? Yeah. 2 days in a row. An emergency at your place. Well, at least some people think of your place as their go-to when they need help. You're right. It's not every day you look at things from the bright side. Ha! Well, I'm one of your coffee shop disciples, right? So I kinda understand them. I hope Henry's alright. Me too. At least he's in good hands now. What's your plan for the rest of the night? Well, that was all pretty hectic, but I need to continue writing. Take your time and place them. Will do! Alright, Spiced Lady, and a British chocolate drink. Oh my gosh, it has like the little, what's it called? Union Jack? I don't remember. The little thingy that they put on their flag. Oh, I was right. I looked it up. Oh, interesting. They showed me a little thing of like showing me England and Scotland's flag, and then Ireland. Except it's like North Ireland. The UK is a mess. That's all I know. The UK is a mess. Alright, moving on. It's like, I should know. We came from the UK. Ah, Sunday, October 4th, 2020. October? Hello? Did we do the time skip already? Oh my gosh, a butt! Fight broke out during Coachella. Culprits in police custody. Despite the arrests, Coachella will go on. Police raid on private Coachella after party. Uh-oh. This must be what Rachel is talking about. Is biggest drug and sex-related bust of the year. Oh, yikes. Okay. Let me look at my Tomodachi. Oh my gosh, I'm basically best friends with everyone now. Oh yeah, I am! Favorite things. I love my family, cats, milk, and you. How do Nekomimi people feel about like cats? I'm not sure how it would work. I've been dancing, singing, and trying to achieve my dreams since I was 13, and I'm not stopping now. Yeah, we're best friends with everyone now. Alright. Oh, we are in October. How did I just miss we were in October already? Haha. Alright. Okay, welcome. Hey, Pop. Oh my gosh, I don't remember his voice. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Good evening, everyone. Everyone safe and sound tonight? So far, so good, officer. With the cop who's supposed to be watching this area, hanging out in a coffee shop. The rain sounds really hard. Like, this is the loudest I've heard the rain. I'm not so sure about that. Hey, I'm working right now. Smoking is bad for you, Georgie. You know that? I just love multitasking, you know? That requires skill. Taking a break and working at the same time, you mean? You know it. That's an oxymoron. That's why I said it requires skill. Anyway, Leah, I really need an espresso to help keep me awake tonight. I know how to make that one. Oh my gosh, this rain is so loud. Straight up espresso. An energetic espresso to keep our officer upright on patrol. Heh, you and your sense of humor. Your espressos are always out of this world. Definitely better than mine or my wife's. It's not a competition, officer. Ha! It is for her. She thought if she could make a better one, I'd stop coming to this place so often. That's not happening anytime soon. So, anything special today? Surprisingly, no. Just gotta make sure this place is safe, though. What are you grinning about? I mean it. You were here the last 2 days, right? Yes, I was. And some crazy things happened here. And 2 days in a row. As if the gods are trying to give me first-hand experience to use in my story. I think it's kind of relaxing here, the rain pouring down. Oh yeah, I also think so too. It's such good white noise. It's just like really distracting to hear the rain so loud. For me, I don't know. Still fretting over your story, eh? Well, the deadline for my draft is getting nearer. Oh, yeah. Georgie, stop smoking, especially in my shop. Secondhand smoke. How's it going? Quantity-wise, it's shaping up pretty well. Quality-wise, honestly, I'm pretty confident. Best of luck then. Do you have any updates about the last 2 days of chaos? For the werewolf case, I spoke to Gala about it. What? Are you going to arrest him? Some officers at the precinct were talking about it. But in the end, we agreed not to do it. Because he really helped a lot that night. We asked the folks in the hospital and some other people in the area. Without him, we'd have had a lot more problems. He helped a lot, getting most of the werewolves safe in the hospital. Too bad he couldn't lock himself up this time. Thankfully he didn't hurt anyone. So, those who'd rather detain him can't do anything anyway. Whew. I'd be pretty mad at you if they did arrest him. Hey! Being mad at me wouldn't solve anything. I know. What about Rachel's dad? Any idea what happened? I'm not too sure myself. Most of it didn't happen around here. What? Yeah, it seemed like it happened out near Coachella. That's a long way away. I don't even know where they host Coachella in like real life. I mean, it's not actually that far. But he wouldn't be able to walk it, not in that state. So far, that's all I know. It's Rachel. Rachel. Rachel, is Mr. Hendry alright? Before that, can I have a cup of hot chocolate, dark? What does dark hot chocolate be like? Just probably chocolate, super bitter. Chocolate. Dark chocolate, there you go. Your hot chocolate's ready. Thank you. Oh, Dad's going to be fine. He woke up this afternoon. Thanks to Mr. Gala. He got help fast enough to stop things getting worse. He's doing okay then. It'll take a few days before he fully recovers, but no permanent injuries we need to worry about. That's good to hear. I know, but still, it's all because of me. Because I didn't listen to him. When all he wanted to do was protect me. Rachel, don't blame yourself for this. Please don't take offense. But is it okay for you to leave your father alone in the hospital? Yeah. Apparently, this is what we know. Mr. Hendry came in yesterday in his cat form, and he had like a massive, I don't even know what you would call it, like bulbous blister? I have no idea what you'd call it, like on his eye, and he was barely hanging in there. And then now we found out that he was in a fight at Coachella, and they rushed him off to a hospital with a Nekomimi expert who was off duty at the time. So yeah, that's what happened last night. His friends are there at the moment, but I can't face being stuck in a room with a bunch of people I don't even know right now. Oh, you just came back from doing dishes? That's fine, no worries. Besides, I really needed to get away for a bit. So I told Dad I'm gonna visit Coffee Talk to get some fresh air. He's okay with that? He understands. He always does, I guess. Miss Rachel, what really happened last night? Dad got into a fight with some thugs. He heard them talking about me in some very suggestive, perverted ways. Oh. He didn't like that, of course, so he morphed into his cat form and started a fight with the thugs. Oh, are they like stronger? Like more agile as a cat? That's interesting. But I mean, he's also an old man. So why did he morph? So people wouldn't see what his human form looked like. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes more sense actually. And then come directly to me. Some cops went to the crime scene. They found some eyewitnesses to testify, and they managed to find the thugs. Are they fans of yours? No. It's even worse. They work for Mr. Lester. What? Oh boy. The reason why it didn't take long for the cops to find them was because they were already under arrest. Because the party went too far last night. Whoa! How did it all connect up? It was literally on the newspaper, Freya. Don't you read it? It's literally on the front page. They're Mr. Lester's bodyguards. They were chilling after the show, having a pre-party before the big one. And you know about guys and locker room talk, right? She works for it, she doesn't read it. Well, to be fair, yeah, I was gonna say, she doesn't really work anymore. Yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't read my own paper too. Actually, I'm looking at the Evening Whispers really quick. Oh, it's like a three-parter of happily ever after, ever after. It's about Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so it's not really Romeo and Juliet. They're like more in a contemporary setting. They study at the same university. And they fell for each other. This is a long one. I'm not even sure. I guess I'll skim it more. Okay, so he's like always looking. Romeo's always looking for if Juliet went through the door. And he like curses because every time it's not her, he's like, ugh, I looked. Juliet confides in him about something about in her personal life. Can you imagine if I read this whole story out loud? It would take the streams would be like so much longer. They're starting to become better friends. That's what's happening. He feels obsessive about her. Leah reading Streamland. He says, do you know I used to like you? And then he's like, that was a lie. He still likes her now. Oh, he's had a crush on her for 8 months. He admires her. I'd make a nice reading ASMR stream. I'm I'm already reading. This is a long one. Holy cow! This is like a real short story. With tea sips and paper crumbles. Paper crumbles. Oh, crumples. That would be cool. A little page flipping ASMR. So he confesses and they never bring it up again. Because he confessed, he's not satisfied. He wants to have her, or whatever. Not have her. He wants her to reciprocate his feelings. He wants nothing so prosaic. He needs Juliet. He's gonna confess again. And to be continued. That's basically the story. Part 2! Oh my goodness. Look how long this is! Is the last one long too? Let me look. Oh, this one's a little shorter. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm just gonna skim quickly. It's midnight. I still like you. I never stopped liking you. And every day I like you more, and I don't think I can go another day without telling you how I feel. Oh, I know. What? Is it that obvious? No, but it was kind of easy to guess. Actually, this one's not as long. Oh, so they're having that classic Romeo and Juliet. They can't be together because of their families. I didn't quite catch why their families wouldn't mesh. They didn't give me a solid reason. Unless... Okay. They're doing a bunch of references to like actual things in real life. It's just love. I don't know why I fell in love with you. Okay, so she basically says she loves him back. Even though he's not quite sure if it is love. In one moment, he's felt the greatest happiness and greatest sadness he's ever felt in his life. Alright, he quotes a movie, I think? He quotes a movie and then she's like, I hate that movie. Why would you quote that? And then they both profess their love. And they want to make this work. And they kiss. They say it in much nicer language than the way I'm saying it now. Alright, last part. He wakes up the next day wearing the same clothes. What is the plot twist? They both feel weird, like they're missing something. I'm not sure what happened to their feelings. What? Oh, okay, I see. She's like, I'm not sure myself, but I have this theory. Maybe, and I know it sounds wild, but hear me out. Just maybe the parts of us that fell in love with the other somehow left us last night. They separated themselves from this world, making their own, where time loops an exact moment over and over again. That's cute that she keeps calling him Boyo. What happens to us now? They feel really good. Life goes on, they're still good friends. They both found their loves, the one who shares their interests. That doesn't force them to sacrifice many things in life, yet still makes them feel like the happiest person on earth. They grow old together as fluid friends, not as lovers. And what about the Romeo and Juliet who burn with love for each other? I'll tell you. That couple is still sitting on their bench in the park on that clear and perfect night, and they'll stay there until the end of time. They've created their own world without other people meddling. Judging, forcing compromises. And they'll always have each other, basically. Well, that was a very long, short story. Oh, that's kind of sweet. So they basically just split off into like a perfect world, like where they wanted to live in that moment forever. And then they lived, the other parts of themselves stayed in the real world. And they didn't have that like those feelings for each other anymore, but they still stayed really good friends. That's sweet. That's an interesting one. Interesting. Alright, sorry Rachel, I don't know how long that was, but sorry I was reading a story while you were trying to talk about what happened last night. I always choose a bad time to do it. Alright. Yeah, I think that was a sweet story. I can understand that. Well, Stop! I forgot about the sound effects. I'll drink a little bit. Alright, I deserve that. Alright. I'll just repeat what she said, Ari. And you know about guys and locker room talk, right? Yeah. I needed to make myself happy. We're gonna be sad now. Well, that's what they were doing. And I'm the topic of discussion. Ugh. Oh, there's that. I'm sorry to hear that. And you were right about his party. I'm glad I wasn't there. Once again, I owe Dad for... Hey, it's okay. The most important thing right now is that you're safe. And your dad made it through. I should have listened to him. He might be out of touch, but he's still way more experienced than me. And he's my father. I wish Mom was here. She'd know what to do. She'd know what to say to Dad when he's recovered. Are you gonna make me sad? You know what? I'm sure you'll know what to do. You're an adult, remember? But I don't know. All I know is I have to be there for him when... That's it. That's all you have to do. It might be weird to hear about something coming from Freya, but she is right. Wait, what? Did I read that sentence right? Oh, okay, I did read it. It just sounded a bit weird. Be there when he needs you, Rachel. And whenever you need a breath of fresh air, you can come here and relax for a while. Guys, thank you. I've had enough fresh air for one day. I'll go back to the hospital now. Thank you for the update, Miss Rachel. I wish your father a speedy recovery. Thank you, Leah. And then she goes. Man, what a weekend. Pretty crazy, I know. Anyway, I've got to continue my patrol. It's been a pretty weird weekend. But overall, things are still safe around here. But even with that, never let your guard down, okay? No problem, officer. Thank you for checking up on us, Officer Georgie. Okay then, see you. Are you going to leave as well, Freya? I don't think so. I've had enough rest. Are you sure? Are you sure you've had 6 hours of sleep for the whole week? And I have stories to write. You're not tired? Definitely not. In fact, I think I can get it done today. Alright. I won't bother you then. Oh, you're never a bother. Besides, this whole book project would have never existed without this place. And you. So, thank you. Aww. The pleasure was mine. Now I'm sure you shouldn't spend any more time on chit-chat. You've got a book to finish. No problem, boss. Midsummer's Night Dream. Sweet and memorable, like summertime blues. Rain, rain. Two weeks later. This is our little tiny time skip. The Evening Whispers, Sunday, October 18th, 2020. Coachella Festival proves to be major boost for Seattle tourism. More women have spoken out and claimed Morris Lester lied. Oh. Initial reports indicate possible herpes outbreak at Coachella. Wow. Alright. So we got a major boost to tourism. That's great. We also might have had a herpes outbreak. Oh, alright. Are they dating? Guys, are they dating now? Are they real? Do you think they kiss? Hello! You're finally here. Hey, y'all! Hey! Hey! Don't spray me! Alright. Hey! Yo! Hi, Freya! Huh, someone's feeling happy today. Of course! Did they... They approved it! Yes! Freya, yes! We're so happy for you! Congrats! Oh my! Do you know how happy? Judging from your expression, I'd say before ecstatically and rapturously. That's a... not rapturous. Rapturously. I was like, wait, rupture? I was like, wait a second, not that one. You're goddamn right. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did they react to the draft? Surprisingly, they liked it. That's amazing. I know, right? I couldn't believe it either. They told me if the book sells well, they'll definitely sign me on for a second book. I'm so happy for you. Anyway, whatever happens in the book now, I can take things a little slower. Because they gave me a year to finish it. With a feedback session every month. Sounds professional enough. Of course. They are the biggest publisher around. And enough about me. How's the coffee shop been doing? It's been great. We've had a lot of new customers lately. And some old-timers, of course. I heard Hyde's back from his trip to Korea? Yeah. He brought us some gifts back. He didn't get any for me? Huh? Sure. But he did say he always gives gifts directly. Huh. Gift giving the old-fashioned way, huh? How about you? Tell me! Things are great. The last time I saw you was... before your mini break? Yes, we decided to go to Coachella. Oh no, Coachella! Wow! Hey, I don't need to be sprayed! That event was a mess. Yeah, 3 hours at the festival was enough for us. So, where did you go after that? We ended up in Port Townsend. How was it? I enjoyed it. Never knew a historical trip could be fun. Oh, yeah, I saw your new profile picture, Aqua. Oh my gosh, are they kissing? Oh! Ah, cute! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Cute! Aqua here. Myrtle's face is so funny. Oh. Did anyone else's picture change? Freya's the same. Georgie's the same. Gala's the same. Lua's looking at a picture. I think that one changed. I think that's the only one who did changed. The other one stayed the same. Myrtle didn't change hers. Oh, this is a cute one. This is like a school pic though. What happened to Neil? Neil, did you give everyone herpes? I'm kidding. Hendry. Oh. Oh, cute. All right. You both look so cute. Oh, man. Thanks. Was that taken during your vacation? No. It was at Max. They had a Japanese-style photo booth there. So, I forced her to take a picture together. You were at Max too, Myrtle? Oh yeah, they were talking about this. Yeah. I helped her out a bit with the booth. Thank you. You don't have to keep thanking me. Hi. Have any of you heard from Neil? Yeah, what happened to Neil? Did he find out anything about breeding? No. Not me. They did send 2 postcards to the coffee shop. Really? Yeah, one's from Coachella. That's not even that far away. Why send a postcard? Hard to tell with them. What about the second one? It's from New York. What? What are they doing in New York? Beats me. Working on their mission, maybe. Huh. Yeah, probably. Oh my gosh, the way Aqua's looking at Myrtle. Cute! They stand more of a chance there. Anyway, guys. We're leaving for the night. Oh, come on! So soon? We were here for hours before you arrived. And we need to work tomorrow. Ah, fair enough. Take care on your way then. Good luck with the novel. Thanks. See you, Leah. See you around. Okay, so they're not officially kissing yet. I see it though. I see it coming. I'm gonna look at that picture again. Cute! They did Purikura together. Oh, Aqua is so silly. Like, hey! Hey! Anyway, like, considering her demeanor, it's like really interesting to see Aqua be so like silly. Oh man. Yeah. They look happier than when I first met them. They do. It's not easy to find someone you can be comfortable with in such a short amount of time. Yeah. Anyway... Sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you, Baileys. No worries. I don't feel ignored at all. Are you by yourself tonight? No, I'm waiting for Lua. She has some work to do. This late at night? Yeah. She's been doing overtime for the past few days. How are the two of you doing? Hey, do you guys want to like scoot over so there's not like two chairs between you? Things have been great. In fact, after 10 years together, we're finally moving in together next month. Aw! Wow, congrats! But I thought Lua lived with her flatmate? We're moving to a new place. She got promoted recently. And her company's providing her with an apartment. Wow! Can you imagine your workplace actually giving you a place to live? That's fiction. This is no longer Fantasy USA. This is slightly better. I mean, it's Fantasy USA. It's slightly better than the real USA, I guess. Slightly. Oh, so slightly. Privilege. Wow, she must be a really big deal in her office. Well, she definitely earns more than me. That's not saying much, Baileys. You shouldn't say that to a fellow freelancer. Oh, here she comes. Baileys, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it to take so long. I thought it would be done by... Honey, it's alright. Freya and Leah have been keeping me company. Anyway. Oh, hey Freya. And Leah. Sorry for barging in without saying hi. Girl, you just came in. You don't need to apologize for anything. How is it going? I would say things are great, but not as great as you two lovebirds. Told her already? Only about the moving in part. Oh, they're getting married? Hello? As you heard, we're going to move in together next month. Where is it? Not far. I mean, the company provided the place. So they want to cut my commuting cost as much as possible. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if if your workplace gave you a place to live and it also had the shortest commute possible? That would be amazing. That's thoughtful of them. It means they don't need to reimburse my taxi fees when I'm working overtime. Womp. Then again, what company would reimburse your commuting fees? Also, is that what it's like to work in a company? Is that what it's like when you're working as like a salary person? Womp. Mrs. Fish. Oh my gosh. Even just getting compensated for your commute is just like something that doesn't happen. Oh, yeah, that too. It also means we get to visit this place more often. That's a good point. We owe. Oh, they pay. What? You guys? Well, yeah. And when I lived in Japan, I mean, in Japan, they paid for our transportation just straight up. They would fill our what do you call those things? The little pass that you use for the tram, the trains, and I think that's it. It's for the trams, because we had a tram where I lived, and then we had the train station. And then I had like a school that was really far away. Boarding card? I think they call it that, yeah. They call them like the IC cards. I don't want to say what type of card it was. But like in Tokyo, it's the Suica card with the little penguin. And then when I had to take like a taxi to go to one of my schools from the train station, because it was so far away. And they would also reimburse me for that too. They'd give me like these little taxi tickets. So, but I also worked like for the government. Like some ALTs work for like, not directly for the government, but I worked right for the city. So yeah. Yeah, penguin. Suica. I'm pretty sure. Looking it up really quick. You spell it S-U-I-C-A. Suica card. Yeah, the little penguin. Alright. We owe this coffee shop a lot anyway. I got super distracted. Anyway. Don't mention it. Can you get one? Yes, you can get one if you go to Japan. If you go to Tokyo, you can grab a card. But they've been getting like a lot more useful. Like you can see like YouTubers in Japan using their IC cards for vending machines. I think like convenience stores like Family Mart and Lawson, they also take the IC card as payment. So you can it's literally just like a debit card, I guess, that you just fill up with money and you can use it basically anywhere. Very convenient. I have a question for both of you. Go on. The last time we met, I believe you were going to introduce Baileys to your parents. How did it go? Man, her father didn't kill me at least. Well, at least Papa let you eat lunch with us. That's rare, you know? I know. And at least they didn't say no. Which means a lot, I guess. It was a good start. It was definitely a good start. Anyway, Baileys, we need to go now. Or we'll miss the intro again. You folks going somewhere? Yeah, we're going to watch the midnight screening of Full Metal Conflict. Oh, I didn't take you for someone who likes FMC, Lua. Oh, I don't, but this guy loves it. Hey, you always enjoyed watching me play the game. I enjoyed watching you, not the game. Ah, too bad I didn't introduce you to Myrtle just now, Baileys. She worked on the game. Really? Oh well, I'll be visiting this place more often. I'll probably meet her again one of these days. You probably will. Now go, you lovebirds. You don't want to miss the movie. Alright, catch up with you later, Freya. Bye, Leah. Enjoy the movie. There they go. I'm so happy for them. They've still got a long way to go, even though they've been together for 10 years. Although they're just moving in now. And probably a lot of obstacles in their path. But they're moving forward. Yes. How will you write their story? As it is. It's beautiful enough. And it has enough drama. Ha! That's one way to put it. Anyway... What's that look for? You haven't told me about any of our other friends here. How are they doing? You only skipped coming for 10 days. What do you expect? Come on! They played an important part in my writing process, remember? Well... There are some updates about the regulars. Tell me! Tell me! Where should we start? Oh, what? Oh! Lua visits this place more often now that they live nearby. The last time they came, they were talking about catering and venues. Hyde returned from his trip to Korea and brought gifts. Some more are special than others. He said he's considering moving back to Seattle if his agency allows it. Oh my gosh, it's fast! New game. Aqua continues her work with the university. She's still working on small indie games. The difference is she's not alone now. Aww. Neil? Just Neil. The only news about their superhero breeding mission are the 2 postcards they sent me. Rachel is back at the recording studio preparing for her first solo album. She found a new manager, someone who made the news as a legend coming back to the industry, her dad! And finally, Freya. She finished her book and get published and have some signing sessions. It was a massive success, sold out even after the 4th printings, and might be adapted to a movie. She's working on her 2nd novel! Whoa, what? That's it! That was the epilogue. I wish they gave me a little more time to read that. Well, that was the game. Okay. Wow. We finished it in an hour. That's kind of amazing. I thought the ending, like the last 3 days, would be a lot longer. Well, that was fun. We got to know everyone's stories. Freya did really good. I'm proud of Freya. I love her. She hustled. Not hustled. I mean, I don't know what you call it. She did it. She wrote a draft in like a month. Good for her. She got it approved. Her book was a massive success. She's making her novel. Baileys and Lua, they're all good. Development cats. Development babies? Wait. So these were cats that were during development? Oh, they named them up to some of the characters. That's cute. Oh. That's very cute. Release and Lua is gonna be okay. And it looks like Myrtle and Aqua are really good friends. Really good friends. Wink. Release and Lua are cats. The real Neko Mimi. And Rachel and her dad work things out. Hey! And me, thank you! I just got bonked. I'm just saying it how it is. Loading. Oh, there's something! Wait, who is this? Welcome. They're just really good friends. Wink. Yes, exactly, Fox. Yes. Hello, Leah. The bat doesn't discriminate. Good evening, sir. Have we met before? I'm sure this is your first time here. Of course I've been here. In fact, I've worked here before. Oh, wait, what? Neil? What? Sorry, I went a little high there. What? What? Wait! No way! Is that really you? Oh no, he's hot! You're right, exactly that. What the? It's been a while. You've changed a bit too much. I've learned a lot about how to live with your people since then. I assume it was a success? I was gonna say mistake. Oh no, he's hot! I assume it was a success then. Multiple success. Multiple successes. What's with the new look then? Just trying to blend in. Wait, are you telling me you didn't have babies as looking like this? It seems like an Earthling immigration agency is after me. Now that you mention it, somebody did visit this place looking for you. When was it? Not so long after your first visit here. Or sorry, second visit here. Was he a bald guy in a suit? Yes. That F-I-R-E agent. You've seen him? Yes. Thankfully, I've changed my appearance since then. By the way, you can drop the act in front of me. Wait, what? Am I also an alien? So, you finally noticed. To think that such power can be born from our kind. You're good with your act, though. It took a few tries. But there are some timelines where I... Whoa, what? Where I forget to pretend that I don't have some knowledge of certain stuff. What? What? Am I a time traveler? What? Hello? Now I'm curious to know about those mistakes. Well, it happened a few times. Or first, when Freya told me about her meeting in the elevator. Then, it was the first time Rachel visited this place. And the last one involved you on your second visit. Huh? Oh, and there was another one right after Freya got her draft approved. Can you show it to me? Assuming you know how I communicate with my kind. Never tried it, but let's see. You've beaten the main story of the game, but you haven't seen everything yet. What? The achievement is called, is that it? What? 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 I thought I was done. What do you mean? What do you mean? False around. Oh my gosh. I thought I was done. I thought this was the end of the game. Turn the car off. We're going to McDonald's. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'm clicking off for a second. Let me look. Happy Talk. Spoiler free guide. We're going to McDonald's. It says, at the end of the game, it says you did not see everything and give examples of the story where you could have done things different. Do you know where in the walkthrough those parts are and what you should have done differently? I'm so confused. You say, recommend playing blindly first to get different endings. How do I get different endings, though? I'm so confused. Hold on, let me move to the other screen while I'm doing this. Here we are, at the just chatting screen where we actually have some music. What on earth? The main story will only require one full playthrough, with small sections replayed at the end of the main story. Okay. I did the main story. So, okay, I found a guide. Here we are. First load game, day 1. Alright, we're going back. Alright. Alright. Select day 1. September 22nd. Do I want to restart the day? Sure. So it says I can fast forward through the dialogue if I want, and there will be certain differences this time around. Okay. Do I want to forward? I guess we could do some autoplay. How's the night so far? It's calm as usual. No problem. Actually, it's gonna take a while. Forward. Okay, let's make that coffee. Espresso. Okay, this is the part where it stopped. What are you writing now? Do you remember my plan to... Okay, so Freya never even told us about the elevator meeting. She's like, huh? You were about to tell me about your meeting in the elevator? Oh yeah, that, huh? Wait! I didn't tell you that! How did you know? Well... I was just guessing. No way a guess could be that specific. You're being very suspicious. Maybe. Gulp. You have another news source. ... I have no comment. I knew it, but I haven't told anyone about this. Oh wait. Was it someone who saw me entering the elevator in a hurry? Theorize all you want. I won't comment on anything. Okay, okay. I understand the importance of keeping sources confidential. So, I'll pretend you never said anything. Thank you. So, yeah, where were we? So, I'm supposed to finish this day, I guess? You're planning to do something. Yes, that. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of writing. Anything of chocolate in it, please. We're speedrunning, baby! He wants latte art. Coffee, coffee, milk. Alright, what shall we make? Maybe I'll make some lines. Like this. Make some lines. Some beautiful, beautiful lines. Okay. And then I'm gonna make some wiggles like this. Whoa! And then I'm gonna make a circle. I'm gonna make a circle. I'm gonna make a face here. There we go. Beautiful. Here you go. That's a lot of writing. Holy cow. Green tea latte. This is good. Thank you for this. Oh. Black magic. Sweet and cool. Magically wakes you up. I should find out all the recipes, huh? Well, I could do that. Or I don't have to. If I wanted an achievement, then I would do that. Once this day is over, go back to the main menu. Okay. And then the next one we're gonna do is day 3, the 24th. Well, it's handy that they don't auto skip the dialogue you haven't seen. So it makes it a little easier to find out what we need. Right away. Oh wait, what did you want? A cup of honey milk, please. Milk. Honey, honey. There you go, your honey milk. That's so cute, Myrtle and Akko become friends. Kitty! Rachel! Oh, she just wants milk. Straight up milk, baby! There you go, your milk. And she wants her espresso. Oh wait, is this it? Oh yeah, Rachel was so rude to Freya. What are you waiting for, Grandma? Is this some kind of main cafe experiment? Usual. Wait a minute. Oh wait, this isn't it. Joji! Or Georgie, not Joji. Oh yeah, he has a cold. Green tea, lemon honey. Cough syrup. Alright, Myrtle leaves. Oh yeah, they're like talking while Rachel's literally sitting right there. Alright, this is where it stopped. Try and understand your father's perspective. I'm sure you both will be able to solve this like adults. You don't need to rush your decision. I'm not sure about that. Just take your time. I agree with Officer Georgie. You don't need to make a snap decision. I am sure you and Mr. Hendry will find some common ground together. Oopsie. Why are y'all looking at me like that? How do you know my father's name? Ah? Oh no. What was that? Nothing. Dad's visited this place before? I can't say anything about that. They really don't believe me. You were just about to say something, weren't you, Officer Georgie, right? Well, sorry. I wanted to talk more about your problems. But no. Now I would recommend you just go home. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's it. It was us knowing who Rachel's dad was before we even figured out the connection. Alright. Thank goodness these are going by fast. Also, I can't believe Neil's hot. Alright, we finished the day. Oh, you're fine, Miski. How was Oscar's bath? The next day is day 8, September 29th. I'm not sure how much you missed. But we finished the game and now we had like a weird epilogue. And I don't know, we're like a time traveler or something. So we like knew things in other timelines that we shouldn't have known. So we're just replaying it now. It was good. He almost tried to escape from the tub though. Oh, Oscar! Silly guy. Oh yeah, you missed the ending. Have you I knew you were playing this game. Wait, did you finish it? Oh. Yeah, we had like a quick epilogue. Oh yeah, actually I didn't. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Even though I just said something. So basically after we played the ending, they mentioned 4 points in the story. Where we the main character goofed and we said something we shouldn't have. And I guess we're not really human? Question mark? I don't know. Neil's like, drop the act, I know who you are, or whatever. So yeah, so I was really bewildered, and now we're just replaying those 4 points in the game. Quote unquote replaying. Like I'm basically just following a guide. I'm following a guide, and then the game will I just fast forward and it'll stop at the point where you haven't read it before. Oh yeah, Galahad. Tea, milk, ginger. It is interesting. I thought the game that was it. Tea-based drink. Oh, have I not made that one before? Guess not. We found out Neil's hot. Did I say that part? I was like, who is this doctor? Neil! Now that's the Neil I know. What'd you miss? I did 2 days. Yeah, they're hot. We did 2 days. We did the first day where Freya was about to tell us about her meeting with the publisher or agent in the elevator, but we got interrupted and we were like, she didn't say it to us, and then we were like, oh, and you were saying about you were going into the elevator, and she's like, wait, I didn't say that. And we're like, oopsie daisy. And she's like, how'd you find out? Did someone tell you? And we're like, no comment. So that was an instance of us slipping up and saying something we shouldn't have because we didn't know what she was going to say. But apparently in this timeline we did before they were going to say it. And then the second instance we went to is when we met Rachel for the first time. And we like mentioned, she was talking about her problem with her dad. And we like piped in and we said, I'm sure you and Mr. Hendry can get this sorted out. And she's like, wait a second, how do you know who my dad is? Because she didn't tell us who her dad was yet. Because they have different names. Yeah, so that was the first 2 days. We're on day 3. This is when we first meet Neil. Or not first meet Neil. Neil's already been here. Second time we've seen Neil now. Good evening. It's nice to see you again, Neil. We are also glad to see you, barista. Oh, okay, so this is actually the first time we... Wait, no, second time. So he says, good evening, everyone. Oh boy. Good evening, Neil. It's nice to see you again, Neil. Alright. Although, we do not think we have told you about the name we use on Earth. Again? It's just that, you know, you kind of remind me of our first man on the moon. Oh, really? We have chosen the right name then, because that was where our name came from. This has happened 3 times now. You really are hiding something, huh? What are you talking about? Oh well. Is that your real name? Oh, of course not. Okay, I think that's it. That was it. He wants something that he can taste. Milk, honey, mint. So that was us knowing Neil's name before they introduced themselves to us. They really like the Milky Way. They went to go report how good it is. A little boopity boops. A little beepity beep. Alright, the last day should be the last... well, I mean... Obviously, the last day is gonna be... the last day. And I guess we'll get, like, the true ending of who we figure out who we are. The Grinch. Green, spicy, and not everyone's cup of tea. Looks like ginger and cinnamon and green tea. That sounds like an interesting combination. Alright, so even Neil didn't... Well, Neil noticed, but not really. And then... last day. Alright, and that should be it. Put that away. Two weeks later. Huh, this is weird. The newspaper looks different. Or was it always like this? I'm pretty sure this was like right here on the top half about Morris Lester lied, and then the bottom half of the newspaper was the herpes outbreak. And this part of the paper was bigger. I'm pretty sure. Alright. We're just playing through the last day again. Rapturously. Is there anything new? I'm gonna speed through. They went on a date to a Port Townsend. So cute. Things are good. Things are good. Alright, this is where it stopped. By the way, I haven't seen your final draft. May I read it? Sure. I brought an extra copy. Let's see. The main character is a time traveler? Oh, I can never say that word. Subtly. Subtle. This is one of the few English words I can never actually say. I know how to say subtle. But I don't know how to say it when it has a TL. Subtly. Subtly. How about the American pronunciation? Subtly. That is such a weird word. I don't know if you heard Google talking to me. Subtly. I learned how to say a word today. I mentioned it just enough to raise suspicion. We heard it. Well, it was right in front of the microphone. Where did you get the inspiration for the character? You know the answer. Why would I? Because you're smart enough to get what I mean. Or sorry, either you're smart enough to get what I mean, or you already know my answer is. Gulp. Don't think about it too much. It's only a story. Anyway, what's that look for? Alright. Okay, in this timeline she figured it out. And then we do the epilogue. At least Mitsuki can see it now. And I can actually look at the pictures instead of trying to read. A ginger bag. Oh, Hyde. He's considering moving back to Seattle. Interesting. So cute. Aqua! Yes! Girlfriends! Yeah, you can finally see it. Neil, we don't know what happened to Neil. Neil went to New York. Hey! I didn't deserve that. I'm just saying the truth. The people need to know. And became hot. Book signing. Aww. So happy for her. Alright, skip the credits because we already seen it. There they are! So, they found out, huh? Clever as usual. In some timelines, yeah. But I have to ask you this. Why? Why what? Why do all this? Opening the cafe. Connecting people. I just like to make sure things go all right. Besides, yes? I also have to make sure that I'll exist on Earth. Are we Neil's baby? Are we Neil's baby? This is some messed up stuff. This is just like the time traveler's wife. Kind of. Ha! That's one hell of an important task indeed. It is. That's it! That's it! What on earth? I think we're Neil's baby. That's my theory. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Well, they didn't introduce themselves that time, but that was Neil. In the first ending, Neil says, "Drop the act. I know who you are." And then Neil revealed to us that they knew they were being chased by the FIRE, fire agent, and so that's why they changed their appearance into like a hot doctor. So they wouldn't get caught. And they said they had multiple successes having babies. And yeah. Hot, right? Yes. Very. I was like, who put this anime pretty boy in front of me? I didn't even know what voice to give them because I was like, who? And they're like, hi, it's been a while, Leah. And I'm like, who are you? Oh no, they're really hot. Yeah. Yeah, I think because, you know, Neil had multiple babies and they were raised to be superhumans or whatever. Why is there a Bishonen in my game? They had babies, and I think we're one of the babies of the superpowers. And we became a time traveler. With our time traveler powers. And I guess we traveled back into the past to make sure that Neil's mission was a success, I guess. So that we can continue existing. That's so wild. What on earth? That emote. Truly the best wingman. Oh my goodness gracious. One where their existence depends on you. Oh my gosh. Gallery! This is some pictures we saw in the cutscenes. This is like in the opening. I can't believe this is Aqua. So cool. Oh, so Aqua does have like tentacles as legs. Interesting. There's a lot of pictures. Holy cow. They're Purikura! Cute. Oh, that's such a cute picture. That's the Rachel's old group. So cute. This is like the stuff we saw at the end. Oh, this must be like concept art, maybe? Is that supposed to be lipstick? I don't know what that is actually. That's a little picture of the coffee talk shop. Picture of Lua with some very low underwear. Hello? There's a lot of art of Lua. Is this also supposed to be Lua? Except like human looking? There's Freya. Yeah, there's a ton of art of Lua. Oh, this is a cute art. That one's really cute. There's their sprites. Oh, I guess this is like they were drafting out their sprites. Wow, Aqua looked really different. Rachel also looked more anime. More anime cat girl. Interesting. There they are. That's the final. Yeah, this is a totally different vibe I'm getting from early Aqua. Like, she looks confident. Is this supposed to be like Bailey's? Oh my gosh. Interesting. Oh my gosh, anime! Anime Rachel! Can you imagine if she actually had purple hair? I like the design, the direction they went to for the last, like, the end Rachel. Freya! I almost get the feeling Lua was supposed to be like the main character in a way. Oh, you dare approach me. I feel like Lua was supposed to be like the poster girl, so to speak, and then they switched it to Freya because there were so many concepts of Lua, and then it shifts to Freya. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they talked about it. These are different concepts for Gala. This top one really looks like Wolverine. Or maybe no, this one looks like more like Wolverine from X-Men, like a young one. And this is when it gets older. This is like more emo. This is like confident, powerful. And then down here, emo, emotional. Then there's Gala. Here's Hyde. Calm but angry, question mark? This was the previous design. Oh my gosh! They were gonna make Hyde like a little pipsqueak. the LOLs. E-boy dream. Oh my gosh, these hairstyles are so funny. I'm glad I didn't go up to slicked back hair. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness! Who left this child here? Who put this child here? Yeah, it is interesting seeing their concept art and what they decided on. I feel like Georgie stayed basically the same. Like, I think they had a pretty solid idea of what they wanted Georgie to be. This looks like, I don't know, a young Lua, I guess? Almost looks like someone from Dragon Ball Z. Oh my gosh, you're right, actually. I could see that. I see what you're talking about. Myrtle changed a little bit, but not really. Aqua changed so much. Oh my goodness. They knew what they wanted Neil to be, an astronaut. And then this was concept art for Rachel. They were gonna give Rachel some major cleavage. She looks devious slightly, yeah. This one looks more flirty. The old Aqua. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I like this one. This is a very cute design they settled on for Rachel. Who is this supposed to be? I have no idea. Who are you? There's the werewolf form. Oh, I guess this is like an early stages of development. Oh, interesting. They're gonna go for like a full rendered illustration here. Oh my gosh. Lua, this is the like a early version of Lua and Bailey's. The text box looks so different too. Who are you? Are you supposed to be Freya? Whomst? Interesting. So this is like some ideas of what they wanted it to look like. And then we kind of reach like the final stages here. Oh my gosh, I have comics! There's so much here! What? These are actual comics! I got some of the achievements. I didn't get trashing, art takes time. I have to spend a whole hour making latte art? Hello? Barista trainee. Yeah, if I wanted to 100% this, I'd have to do challenge mode. And I'm like, no, I'm not about that. Help Neil to help you. Extraterrestrial intern. This is what I thought. This one really confused me because I thought they said I I thought they said Hyde was married. Am I just like remembering things wrong? Look it up. Cause right, this one says, there's a spark, more than friends, finish Gala and Hyde's arc. And I'm like, huh? Every drinks need a god. Oh, this wiki doesn't help me. I thought Hyde said he was married. No? I don't know. Maybe I just misread that. I thought they were... Oh, it looks like he was married but divorced? Oh, okay. I didn't see the divorced part. I saw that Hyde was married. Okay. I didn't really see a romantic spark between the two of them. I thought they were just friends. I mean, I saw in the epilogue that, Hyde got like handcuffs for Gala from going back from Korea. That's interesting. Okay. Comics. Let's read them. There's only 2 pages of comics. Coffee talk. Push to limit. I've been in front of this coffee shop entrance for so many times now. This place looks warm and cozy. But I can't seem to bring myself to actually go in. Tomorrow, for sure. That's a cute one. Coffee talk. Blurry eyes. Oh, it shows it in the official comic there? Okay. So many beings are obsessed with things that perishes by time. Looks, wealth, relationship. Oh, right here, I see it. Divorce agreement. After hundreds of years, what could still excite someone about life? Oh, okay. Melody of Life. Man, I've been stuck on this page for 3 hours now. What's wrong with me? This is a nice cozy room. The Gentle Howl Within. Another kid showed up in the hospital. He was only lightly bruised, but his sister was inconsolable. Still, I must have reacted too strongly to the blood. Mommy, why is he so scary? Shh, dear, don't point. Did you see his scars? He's a werewolf. I guess it showed. Oh. A full-time freelance life. Yeah, it's me. I sent the latest design last night. No, that's the final. Wait, another revision? Womp womp. Wanna be my mate? Be our mate? Ew, that's gross. Get away from me. This interaction did not yield results as hoped. I may have used the wrong method of communication. Oh, everyone gets a comic. Okay. Father knows best? I'm home. I'm so beat. Rachel, do you know how late it is? A high school girl shouldn't be home this late. What will the neighbors say? I've already told you I have lots of night training for my upcoming debut. Overtime. Alright, I'm done. Myrtle, you heading back? Yeah. It's the weekend. Get some rest. Sure. What? What now? Who submitted a bug report at this hour? Womp womp. Oh, okay, so Hyde's divorced. That's so weird that they talked about him getting married in the main story, but they never bring up the fact that he's divorced. Alrighty. Well, that's it for coffee talk. I guess I could try endless mode really quick, just to see how bad I would fail at it. The challenge. Oh, I could just do free brew. Make whatever you want. I kind of want to get all the drinks. What do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 drinks. Let's try making the Grinch. I think it was ginger and cinnamon. Oh, I made it! New drink from the Maestro? Count me in. Overall, I really liked the game. It was good. It was good. I liked the game too. It was very interesting. Alright. Now I don't know what else to make. I only know how to make the Grinch. Let me look. Let's see. Alright. We're making the rest of the drinks, I guess. Coffee, coffee, lemon. This one's called Black Lemon. Did I already make that? New drink unlocked. Cool. Coffee, mint, honey. Yes, I'm looking at a guide. Black magic. Alright, I have that one? Alright. What else do I have? Oh, we have this one. Tea, milk, cinnamon. This one's called Chai Adeni. And then green tea, cinnamon. I said I wouldn't do it, but look at me doing it anyway. Shingenmaicha. Chocolate? Milk, cinnamon? What? Oh, I already made that one. Gingerbread chocolate cake? That sounds good. Wait, where is that? Oh, no cake. Wow. Gingerbread chocolate. Just messed up. What? I'm confused now. Milk, cinnamon, honey. This was called bed chamber. Oh yeah, that's the thing that to put me to bed. No wonder it's called bed chamber. That's, remember, if you guys remember, I talked earlier in the stream how I had warm milk with honey and cinnamon and like a little bit of, what was it, nutmeg? And put me to sleep right in front of the lecturer. Oh, you're thinking about cake? Shingenmaicha, variation of Japanese brew, mixing the brown rice with ginger. This is a Chai Adeni, a sweet spicy chai latte from the town of Aden, Yemen. Yemen? Spice Lady was a British chocolate drink, extremely popular in the 90s. Oh, I only have 2 left. Oh, what could it be? Sweet, cool, and magically wakes you up. Perfect if unlikely combination of sour and bitter. A cup for those longing for a deep slumber. Okay, so... Oh, I see it. Milk. Now I kind of want cake. Thanks, Maya. Milk. Honey. Mint. Wait, I just made a Milky Way. That's not the one I want. Milk. Oh, I put honey in. Mint. Lemon. Lemonthal. And milk. Honey and lemon. Wouldn't lemon just make... Excuse me. Make the milk all curdly? That doesn't sound very good to me. And this is the last one. Lemony Snippet. That's a cute name. There we go, you got the achievement now. Sour and cool, with a hint of home. It would. A fortunate tale in a cup. Ooh, that's cute. I wonder if that's a real drink. Lemony Snippet. Alright, let's go back to the main menu. We unlocked all the drinks now. I guess I'll try this challenge mode really quick. Green tea, cinnamon, and ginger. Alright. Green tea, honey, and... Oh wait. Green tea, green... Wait, is it supposed to be in that order? Green tea, honey, green tea? Honey, green tea? Okay. So I guess he just lists it for me and then it gets harder. Tea, cinnamon, ginger? Cinnamon ginger tea. Chocolate ginger. They use a different track for the challenge mode too. Ginger chocolate. Green... Oh, I wrote green tea, cinnamon, green tea. What's up with these orders? Cinnamon green tea. Chocolate ginger. Honey tea. Alright. Honey ginger milk. Milk. Honey ginger. I hope I could put the order right. Yes. Cinnamon tea. Tea, cinnamon? I'm doing good. Something made of milk. Can I just give you straight up milk? Milk. Something of mint milk. I'm doing okay. A drink of lemon tea. Okay. A cappuccino. Coffee, milk. Oh, I did it. Green tea latte. Green tea, milk. Oh, that's not it. Green tea, milk? Oh, it's real. There we go. Lots of milk. One Tariq, please. Oh no, I forgot that one. Tariq. Oh gosh, it's all the way at the end, huh? TT milk. TT milk. Espresso. That's an easy one. Oh, what's real? The lemony snippet? Russian tea. I forgot that one. Tea, lemon, cinnamon. The green tea latte? Yeah! Midsummer's Night Dream. Tea, lemon, honey. A drink that's less warm. Okay. Would this be okay? I don't know, that's kind of vague. Mint tea? Oh, he didn't like it. It was too warm. I want a drink that tastes extra warm. I had a bad cup. I broke my streak! Want something that's extra bitter. I want something that's extra cool. Mint chocolate. Something that's not warm. Can I just give you exactly what the other guy had? This isn't so bad. Anything less sweet would be great. How about very bitter? Or is it, would it fail because there's a little bit of sweetness? We'll find out. Oh, okay, that's fine. Something that tastes not sweet. I can just give you espresso. These aren't so bad. Give me a drink that tastes not warm. This gives everyone mint chocolate. That's not warm. I want a drink that tastes sweet and less bitter. Oh, hopefully that's okay. Hi, Misty. He didn't like it. Okay. A less cool. Yes, Misty. I gave you your food already. Oh, she didn't like it. I guess that means less. It's less, but it has to have some. Less bitter. And cool. Okay, okay. Let's try this. It's a lot, not as... Oh, we'll find out. No, no, I'm doing bad! Something sweet would be great. Okay, gave me an easy one, thank you. She didn't like it? I don't understand. I want a drink that tastes sweet. I'm giving you sweet drinks. Maybe it's too... I don't know. Oh no. No bitter? Oh. I feel like these all have bitter though. Or I guess milk. Milk is sweet. Okay. I'm running out of time. Ah! Oh, she didn't like that. A drink that's not cool and extra bitter. I don't understand. Here, I gotta give you an espresso. It's not cool, and it's extra bitter. Okay, I got one. I want something that's cool. speaking in moon runes. Oh, maybe I should have made it more cool. Okay, he liked that. I feel like drinking a not bitter and less warm drink. Not bitter, less warm. Maybe the cinnamon made it too warm already. I don't know. I want to get to 30. She didn't like it! I want a drink that's extra cool and less sweet. Does any of these make cool? Oh, chocolate does. Milk does. Less sweet. I don't know what less sweet even means. Is this okay? Is that too high? It's like middle. She didn't like it! A drink that tastes not cool. I'll give you espresso. I'm failing! I'm not doing good. Okay. I feel like drinking a less cool drink. Like this? He liked it. Okay, we're doing okay, we're doing okay. A drink that tastes less cool. Okay, we're doing better. Oh no! I feel like drinking a not sweet, warm, and less cool drink. But it has to be not sweet. What? Tea? But it's not warm either. Not sweet, not warm. Nani? What? Not sweet, warm. Oh wait, are you saying not sweet and warm? Less cool. Let's try this. Oh wait, I didn't put anything down. Not sweet, warm. So something that adds warmth. So this is a Wendy's. He liked it. Okay, okay. I was just reading it wrong. A drink that tastes not warm. That's milk. And less sweet. So just an itty bit of sweetness. Wait a minute, why is the milk warm? Less sweet. I'm gonna give you some curdled chocolate. How's that? No. Okay, we're doing it. Barely. Less sweet. What gives me a little bit of sweetness? Is 1 point and sweet less sweet? I don't know. Okay, they like that. A drink that's warm and bitter. I can do that. Oh my gosh, I'm just under. Wait, he didn't like that. What do you mean? It was warm and bitter. Was it too bitter? Okay, a drink that's extra bitter. Okay, so I can't max it out unless they ask for it. Y'all are so picky. You don't deserve my business. I want a drink that tastes extra bitter. Extra sweet. And less cool. Hello? What does that even mean? Nani? I'm so confused. How do I make it sweet? How do I make it sweet and less cool? Extra bitter. Maybe let's add some chocolate. There we go. I think that fits the bill. Extra bitter, extra sweet, less cool. Unless I need to max those out. I don't know. She liked it. Okay, okay. Is this what we get an actual coffee shop is like? A drink that tastes less cool and less sweet, please. So it has to be just a little bit cool. Just a tiny bit sweet. I think that's okay. It's underneath 4. Oh, geez. I want a drink that tastes not warm. Chocolate. Extra bitter. And less cool. I think this should be good. He didn't like it. Oh no, I'm game over. Less sweet. Extra bitter. How do I make things more bitter? Oh no, 9 seconds! Brew faster! Brew! Okay, they like that. I want a warm... I'm not gonna do this. Less sweet. Less bitter. I read your comment, but I'm trying. No, they didn't like that! Okay, we're game over, man. We're game over. Alright, I feel it's like I would like this drink with 3 ice cubes, half creamer, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and a dash of honey, and make it not too cold, or something like that. Alright, that's enough for today. Oh man, oh, that was hard. That was hard. Alright. I'm done messing around now. I'm done messing around now. I'm not a true gamer. I didn't win challenge mode. Alright, here we are. Defeated. I can't win challenge mode. I can try. I could have done the achievement where I served 50 drinks successfully. That was so hard. Oh my gosh. It started out easy. And then they started giving me all these weird... I want an extra bitter, less sweet, warm drink, or whatever. I was like, what? I thought you were trying to say to me. Could I have a liquid beard? Ay, ay, ay. Yes, Misty, I know you're upset with me. Oh my goodness gracious. Something that tastes sweet and bitter while also cool and warm. But not too warm, just a little warm. Oh, Missy's upset. I do, Missy. I'm so upset. That was ridiculous. I was doing good, and then I wasn't doing good. Oh man. Just enough. Alright. I kind of already gave my thoughts in the game. I liked it. Coffee talk. That was a very interesting, like, plot twist. Make it good enough for Goldilocks. Yeah, thank you. It was a bit tough. I think I might try again on my own time. I don't know. I was like, oh wow, I have so much time. And then slowly I just did not have any time at all. I was winning until I wasn't. Yeah. That was a good game. And I think it all started because I couldn't play Digimon Survive, which I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to play. But I'm gonna get that on Switch. But I have other games I need to play too. I was just thinking I feel like I'd be more motivated to finish games if I'm streaming it. Because it's like, I already put time aside to stream. So if I'm playing a game for a stream, then I'm like more likely to finish it. You know? If I'm trying to play a game on my own time, I just don't. Sounds like last night's Uno game. We don't talk about that. I wasn't even winning. I was not even winning. Go like for 75% of it. Well, more than that. I'm kind of the same way too. Oh, thank you, Misty. That's good to know. I won the game with your help. Thank you. You helped me win. It was perfect. I really like the team matches. They like let you do like a different strategy. It's like a little more easier to predict. They're very funny, yeah. They're a little more predictable, yeah. I mean, not like predictable, but like, you know what? How like what cards skip a person's turn, and you can kind of put the game in your favor. Someone gave the other a +8, and they were on the same team. It's okay. You predicted it. You just forgot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's not talk about Uno. This is not the time or place. Oh my goodness. Missy's upset with me, even though I gave her wet food right before I streamed. It happened like 4 times. I know! I just realized we've all done it. We're all guilty. Yes, Misty, I hear you. Poor thing. She just wants her wet food so much. Oh yeah, so Thursday we'll play Cozy Grove. That will be an earlier stream at 5 p.m. CST. I have not played it in a while. I feel like it's been 3 weeks. Leah streaming Uno Salt live. I don't want to show my salt to the world, or at least, you know, my handful of you viewers. It was funny. I don't know. I was genuinely salty. I was upset. I was upset because I was not winning. Hi. Thank you, Miski. I'm looking forward to see if we get a new cat in the house. The funniest thing you ever heard. I don't know how to feel about that. Oh my gosh. I should start thinking about games to stream next. Miski, Uno is not fun. It's not fun, Miski. It was so upsetting. It was so upsetting. I would be so close to winning, and then I would not be winning. And then someone else would win, and I was sad. Have you been playing it wrong? I think you've been playing it the friendly way. There was no friends last night, only enemies. Let me pull up my library. Let me look at my library, start thinking about games to play next week. There is Assemble of Care. I also have this listed on my Twitch panels on the bottom of my video of games I want to play. But we have Assemble of Care. I wanted to play Hatoful Boyfriend, but we just played like a visual novel type game. So I want to do like a different game that's not so visual novel. I also want to play Valhalla because some people recommended it to me. That it's like a similar game as Coffee Talk, but it's like a cyberpunk uh kind of world instead of fantasy, modern, I guess. Um, we could play Omori. I've been seeing a lot of people play Omori lately. That would be fun too. I think so. Like these two YouTubers I watch, they're called Pixel Partners. They're starting to play Omori. I've been seeing a couple streamers also playing Omori. I know it's a heavy game, so I'm not sure. But I was saying to Maya, like if I played the game with company, I feel like maybe the game wouldn't be as depressing. I don't know. I will still be depressed. There's this game called Secret Little Haven where it takes place like in the 2000s internet. Oh, there's Spiritfarer. I've played Spiritfarer before, but I haven't played the Farewell Edition, so I'd kind of like want to play it through again. That was a really good game. That game made me cry. I wouldn't mind playing it again. Strange Horticulture. That one's also kind of... Actually, I'm not really sure. It's more like a puzzle game than visual novel. Yeah, Spiritfarer is really good. I haven't... Yeah, they like added DLC and I haven't played the DLC. So I wouldn't mind playing that again. Transistor. And like, the thing is, if I play Transistor, then everyone will see how bad I play games. I will literally just be swiping at nothing in the air. I am so bad at video games. It's not even funny. Like when I play like first-person shooters, I cannot even... Like if it doesn't have like an auto aim, I am just shooting at everything that's not the target. That's okay, Leah. Thank you, Miski. Thank you for validating me, even though I'm a bad gamer. Transistor's so good. Okay. Yeah, I literally like played... Well, it says it here on Steam. I played 24 minutes. And then I never... It's fine. You're a top student in the Stormtrooper Academy. No, don't play Upper Dead 2, Leah. I actually kill my teammates. My friends were so upset with me. They were so upset with me because I would keep killing them. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah. I am the weakest link trying to feed the zombies. I'm trying to find out, give him a hand. I am so, like, I wish you guys could see. I guess maybe one day you'll see. Like, exactly how bad I am at aiming. Because I watch these YouTubers who just like do like one-shot kills. I'm like, I'm like wasting my whole I'm wasting my whole whatever you call it, cartridge or whatever. I've not been making any hits. These humans are too fast and nimble. Hi. I'm really bad at aiming too, so it's no worries. Oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. Maybe I'll play Transistor next time. I don't know, think about it. It's fine. When I played Borderlands, I would only use shotguns. I always use shotguns at like too far of a distance when I was younger, and then that's when my partner told me you need to be up close for shotguns. I was like, oh, no wonder I can't hit anything. Have I successfully used a shotgun yet? No. I have not. Just run and get close. Yay! You know a game I was good at? I was alright at Splatoon. In Cyberpunk, I turned it from an FPS into a hack and slash. That's so funny. Yeah, when I was playing like Genshin, that game made me have to learn how to dodge because I could not just hack and slash. Like I tried doing that with Breath of the Wild too. But Breath of the Wild, you can kind of get away with it more. Like, I still don't know how to parry. The thing about Splatoon is, like, I was playing with babies, so that was pretty good. Just block. Me, I was playing with babies, so that was pretty good. That's pretty good because, you know, they're just kids. And I'm a full-grown adult. I was doing pretty good at Splatoon. I was like, what? The Baby Academy. Oh my gosh. I need that. I never got into the higher ranks, so I'm pretty like the thing about Splatoon is I got scared of playing too competitively. I run from legendary to preschool. Look, the kids can't even read. There would be no way they would have a tournament. Oh my god. I was too scared of being competitive. I think I might play Splatoon 3 because I played see the thing when I first played Splatoon, I played Splatoon 2, and that was when I was living in Japan, so I actually had a Japanese copy. And what I didn't realize at the time is if you have a Japanese copy of Splatoon, you can only play with Japanese players. So the whole reason I bought it was to play with my friends in the US, and I couldn't even play with them. Oh, raid time's meeting up? Okay. I'll see you later, Maya. I'll probably wrap things up here. Good luck with your raid! Have a good night! Good luck! Good luck, gamer. Yeah, so I didn't really get to play that much. I am interested in Splatoon 3, like I was saying. Maybe I'll show that I'm alright at it. Who knows? Who knows? That'd be fun to play with friends though. My kids in Japan, they love Splatoon. Like they were saying like one of my students was so good at it. And they kept asking me like what my favorite weapon of choice would be. Yeah, this one they should open it up to like the whole world now, so it's not region locked. So we might be able to play together? Question mark. I haven't played Splatoon later. The thing is, it's like it's supposed to be like a fun version of a turf war. I think that's fun. Like a little ink. Just spreading your ink around. You know my internet. I do. But maybe, hopefully, you will live in a place of better internet someday. I have Skyrim. I've only played 66 minutes of PC Skyrim. I put like hundreds of hours on Skyrim on like, I don't remember, Xbox? Back in the day when Xbox 360 was, you know, a thing. One day, yes. I think it'd be fun to play Bastion too. That was a good game. The music was so good. I always download Skyrim in hopes of finishing the storyline, just to end up downloading mods for hours and then play for like 20 minutes. That's like me playing The Sims. Like, I'll just build like a very nice house for my Sims to live in. And then I'll play for like not even an hour and then I turn the game off. Spends hours making the house. I actually haven't played modded Skyrim though. Looking at your 50 gigabyte Sims folder, oh my gosh. I haven't modded Sims either. To be honest, I was not, I haven't been a PC gamer in like years, so I just started getting back into playing computer or games on the PC. Like, I learned how to play mouse and keyboard for Final Fantasy 14 last year. You just like making pretty blorbles. You are so valid. You are so valid. Maybe I should make some blorbles. In The Sims. I have plenty, I don't need more. Sim stream. That would be pretty fun actually. I would not be opposed to a Sim stream. And we're just vibing. Making followers in Sims? Oh my gosh, that'd be chaos. That'd be kind of fun though. Like, you may have your own character and we just all live in like the same house and see what happens. What if we were all roommates? Massive streamer house. You're right, yeah. It'd be like one of those houses. I have not played The Sims in forever. So I don't even know what kind of like expansion packs there are. There's so much. Oh my goodness, I'm not prepared for the amount of DLC. Or, expansion packs. At this point, it costs well over 1,000 to have everything? Are you serious? Wow. What on earth? I believe you. Ay, ay, ay. Oh my gosh. I'm looking at the time. It's almost 9 o'clock and I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. Hello? There's a lot of nice ones. There's one that adds a Japanese style city. Oh, that's nice. The Japanese aesthetic. I did see some of those, like, people on 14 Twitter were making houses in The Sims. And they look like super Japanese style. And when I first saw them, I initially thought they were from Final Fantasy 14. But I was like, oh, it's a Sims house. So I was really surprised to see that kind of furniture in it. Yeah, oh my gosh, that sounds fun. Instead of just making Western style houses all the time. No offense to the West. Some offense to the West. You'll reinstall your Sims and show your cute little houses. Ooh, I can't wait to see. I'm not very good at designing houses. I like making the layout especially. I'm horrible at making layouts. But I like remodeling a house. Ooh, that's fun! Oh my gosh. Maybe I should do that. I could make Vera and Graha, and they can smooch. He had a Graha. He was the only normal sim? What? Poor guy. What do you mean the only normal sim? What was wrong with the other sims? I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the answer. What does it mean? Why was Graha the only normal one? He was the only one of just positive normal, just positive personality traits. Oh. I see. He was just a good boy in a city of delinquents. It's fine. His goodness equalizes all the bad. The goodest boy! I need to make a Graha sim now. That won't be the same if he's a human. The cat boy is part of the charm! A city of delinquents. I don't know how else to put it! City of questionable morals. There's so many Kimono Mimi mods. Ooh, okay. I will go down that rabbit hole when I have time. I will. Cause I know once I do, I am not coming back out for a while. I feel bad. Oh my gosh. Ah, I wish I had more time to do things. There's so many things I want to do, and I do like maybe 25% of it. But it's okay. Little steps. I can't do everything I want to do at once. I'm trying to read One Piece. That's not going very well. Because I want to do other things, but I can't just read One Piece and multitask, unfortunately. Hi! It's okay. I'll figure it out. I am enjoying it so far. It's interesting. Just have a One Piece reading stream. That would be so funny. Ay ay ay. People actually do that. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Already watched the anime. The amount of chapters is so intimidating. It's over 1,000! I'm not even in 100 chapters in. It's so intimidating. But everyone keeps saying the story is so good and the characters are so good. And I want to talk to my partner about it. Yeah, that's right, Miski. Oh. Yeah, it's really wild. Maybe I'll read some One Piece after this. Just to make a little dent into it. Ah! It's like I want to make emotes too. I wish I could draw and read. I don't want to watch the anime. The anime would take forever. Ah! Okay. Well, I'll figure things out. Anyways, let's wrap things up. I'm sleepy. It's 9 o'clock at night here for me now, so... And I've been streaming for 3 hours, which is a little wild. That's pretty wild, actually. That's pretty long! The one on Thursday will be like an hour, I think. Just enough to do my chores for the day on Cozy Grove. Anyways, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. I enjoyed finishing Coffee Talk with you. It was a very interesting game. Oh, Miski told me there's supposed to be a sequel? Let me look that up really quick. Coffee Talk sequel. It is called Coffee Talk Episode 2 Hibiscus and Butterfly. Oh, thank you, Ether. I hope you have a good night too. Even though it's not night really anymore for you. Thank you for coming. Happy Talk Episode 2. Interesting. It looks very different. Should I pull it up for the stream? 4 a.m. Nah, let's look at it on my own time. But yeah, it's supposed to be coming out next year, 2023, so that will be interesting. I'll look into it. I have drawn out the stream long enough. Yep. Thank you, everyone. I'll talk to y'all later. Or, yeah, Thursday. See you on Thursday. Have a good night. Don't forget to drink water and stretch. Alright. I'm going. Here we go.